Alrighty. Looks like we're live. So, good morning or good afternoon, everybody, depending on whereabouts you are in the world. Welcome to our little briefing on the Testmo Reporting Center. We're keen during this live stream to show you some new features that we think will help you get a better handle on your testing insights. A warm welcome to this live stream. I'm Simon, the product manager here at Testmo. And I'm really excited to walk you through our brand new reporting center today. We've been working very hard on this, and we believe it's going to significantly enhance the way that you're able to gain insights from your testing data inside of Testmo. So our plan for today is pretty straightforward. We're going to give you an overview of the new reporting center features. After that, we have got a bit of a demonstration to show you one of the key reports in action, the requirements coverage and traceability report. And then after we've had the demonstration, we will have quite a bit of time, I suspect, for a Q&A session at the end to tackle any questions that you may have. So just in terms of that Q&A session, and for those of you who have joined us for it live, if you have any questions as we go through the presentation, as I just said, we'll have like a dedicated Q&A session at the end. We're using Slido for the purposes of capturing those questions in advance, so please take a moment to make a note of the code that hopefully you're seeing in front of you right now, and use it to log into the meeting in slido.com, or just scan the QR code and join the session that way instead if you prefer. My colleagues, Jal and Tony, who are helping out in the background, have also assured me that they'll be keeping an eye on the YouTube chat as well. So if you can't get onto Slido for some reason, there's always that. Although please note that you'll have to sign into your YouTube account in order to leave any comments on YouTube. Alternatively, you can always send us an email at contact@testmo.com. So, you've always got that option as well. Mainly, we're going to be sticking to Slido though. So hopefully you've taken a note of the link and ID number already. So there it is again, just in case. All right, so let's take a look at Reporting Center. So our latest Testmo release, the Testmo Reporting Center, is designed to help you put together your own reports using your live Testmo project data. So when we designed this new feature, we were aiming to provide our users with joined up reporting, a single place to see different aspects of your testing and your testing results. A focus on the most important things, focus on what matters, reports that are geared towards your key reporting needs. We wanted to put you in charge of those reports, so make them as configurable as possible, and give you the ability to decide what information is included in the reports and how that information is presented. And we also wanted to make it easy for you to share that information for reporting to stakeholders and keeping records and stuff like that. So our initial reporting center release includes the requirements coverage and traceability report. So the requirements coverage and traceability report allows you to see and report on coverage for linked issues from tests, runs, and sessions within a Testmo project. So we expect this will help you to document and improve your testing coverage and ultimately deliver better quality products by making sure you have fewer gaps in your testing coverage. Milestone, automation, and workload-based reports are coming soon. Before we release the requirements coverage and traceability report, understanding your requirements coverage could take a bit of effort. We often saw that requirements traceability would be sort of derived from the Testmo repository view, which you can see on this slide here. And for that reason, it could be a bit tricky to see what requirements were covered by which tests. And there wasn't like an obvious way to spot gaps in coverage. You had to like play around with this view and apply different filters and things like that to try and figure out where your gaps were. And whilst you can export this view to PDF, and I mean, you actually get like quite a nice looking report out of it, it wasn't necessarily the easiest thing for everyone to understand. So not necessarily like stakeholder friendly. So what we're hoping is that now we've delivered a requirements coverage and traceability report, things are going to be a bit easier, a bit clearer. It should be easier to see your requirements, coverage, and traceability in a single report based on live data, based on the data as it is right now in your Testmo instance. It should be much more straightforward to see which requirements are covered by which tests. That's what the report is designed to tell you. And it should also be a lot easier to determine if there are gaps in your testing coverage by using this report. And it'll make it easier for you to share that information with people who care about it, your stakeholders, managers, and so on, in a reporting format, a report format that's much easier for them to digest, much easier to look at, much easier to understand. The requirements coverage and traceability report gives you high-level figures showing the number of issues, tests, runs, and sessions, along with clear sort of visual components and detailed breakdowns. And you're going to get detailed information showing the coverage for each individual issue. So let's take a look at how that actually works right now in a demonstration. Okay then, so going into the reporting center demonstration. As I've already mentioned, the new requirements coverage and traceability report is a powerful new Testmo feature, which is designed to give you clear visibility into how your testing efforts align with your product requirements. This report is going to help you to ensure that everything that needs to be tested is indeed covered, providing crucial insights into your test cycle. Please note that the reporting center is currently a preview feature, which will eventually be available on business and enterprise plans. So as I'm showing you here, you can find this new report under the reporting center section from your Testmo dashboard. This report allows you to see how requirements, which often exist as issues, epics, Stories or bugs in issue trackers like Jira, GitHub issues, or GitLab are covered by your test cases, test runs, milestones, and sessions inside of Testmo. By linking issue IDs from your external tracker to these Testmo objects, you can trace your requirements throughout the entire testing process. Generating the report is straightforward. The report configuration panel has three main areas: options, content, and view settings. Let's start with options, which controls the scope of the report. So first up, you select the project that you want to report on, keeping in mind that reports can only be generated for a single report, single project at a time. Next, under issues, you can define which requirements to include. So you've got three options here. You can stick with the default all linked issues option, which will include all issues linked to your cases, results, runs, sessions within the selected project. If you use multiple issue trackers, then you can select between them by choosing the select issue trackers and checking or unchecking the appropriate trackers. So I've only got Jira integrated with my Testmo project at the current time, so it's only showing me one here. But if you have more, then you'll see a slightly longer list. Alternatively, you can enter specific issue IDs. So if you've got a specific list of issue IDs that you want to report on, then you can enter them here. And this is particularly useful for seeing if specific requirements have coverage, and I'll return to that point in a few moments. Similarly, you can control which test cases, runs, and sessions are included in the report. And for each of these, you can choose all, or you can filter on specific criteria, or you can select specific items should you wish to do so. So that's the same on runs as well, or alternatively you can choose all active runs or all closed runs with similar options for sessions as well. You can also filter your reports by specific milestones or creation date ranges. So if you want to constrain it to say a 2-day period or the last week, then you can do that using the created option. So let's go ahead and generate this report now. So I'm just going to stick with the default options initially to generate a report with all of my issues and all of my cases included within it. I don't need to change the limit option here because I know there's less than 200 issues linked with the cases in my project, but obviously if you have more issues that you want to include in the scope of your report, then you can change the setting there accordingly. So what's included in the report itself, the coverage. Well, let's start with the key metrics. So the key metrics section provides a high-level summary of the selected scope within your report. So the total number of issues, the total number of test cases, runs, and sessions that are included in the report. The issue coverage chart visually represents the issue coverage across your selected test activities, making it easy to understand overall coverage at a glance. So I can see that I've got 24 cases in the scope of this report and 9 issues, all of which are covered, so that's good. The coverage statistics section presents this data in kind of a tabular format, showing counts and percentages of issue coverage. So if you're using multiple issue trackers, then you'll even see a breakdown by tracker. The issues table provides a detailed breakdown of each issue included in the report. It shows how each issue is covered by test cases, runs and sessions, along with the latest status, if you've enabled the show status column option. So it allows you to easily see the coverage status of individual requirements. And if you've explicitly identified a specific list of issue IDs, which I haven't here, the report will also include an issues without coverage table, which is going to help you to identify gaps in your testing efforts. So since I haven't done that yet, let's take a quick look at how that would work now. So I'm going to select the target issue tracker, and what I'm effectively doing here is giving Testmo more information about requirements that I want to cover in my report, which Testmo may not be aware of yet. So by default, what Testmo is going to do is look for issue coverage on the basis of issues that are explicitly linked to tests, runs and sessions inside of Testmo. But if you want to identify things that aren't covered, then naturally you're going to need to tell Testmo about those things. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm supplying Testmo with a list of my requirements that I want to report on to see whether they're covered or not. So if I save that and generate my report, then what I can see is the issue count number has changed slightly, and the issue coverage chart has changed to show me that I have some issues that aren't yet covered. Right, so I've got 22 cases still. I've got 7 issues with coverage and 2 issues without coverage. And if I scroll down to the bottom of my report, then I can see the additional issues without coverage table is displayed, and I can see exactly which requirements, bugs, epics, whatever these tickets actually are, don't yet have testing coverage inside of Testmo. So with this knowledge, I can now take the necessary additional actions. So obviously entering the specific list of issue IDs is kind of a key benefit for ensuring complete test coverage, and that's how you do that. So going back to the sidebar and how you configure your report. So the content and the view settings allow you to customize the report further, selecting which items of content you actually want to include in your chart or exclude. So I've excluded the key metrics from the top. There may be other changes that I want to make. For example, I may not actually want to show traceability in terms of the latest result. I might just want information about coverage in my report, and I would be able to show that by unselecting the show status column, for example. Additionally, you can adjust the view settings to remove links from the report. Should you wish to do so, you can remove the header and the footer, the Testmo branded footer, and the header as well. So just to save a little bit of space on your report, again, if that's something that's important. And finally, to share the report, you can click the print and PDF button, which will utilize the built-in browser capabilities to either print or save the report as a PDF so that you can easily distribute it to your team and your stakeholders. Okay. Alrighty. Hopefully that quick whistle stop demonstration was illuminating. We can dig into the new features a little bit more during our live Q&A session. But before we do that, I just want to do like a real quick recap of what we've covered so far. So kind of key takeaways, I guess. At its core, Reporting Center provides customizable live reports based on your project data within Testmo. So it gives you a unified view across the different areas of your testing, enabling you to focus on key insights. Testmo's reports are designed to be highly configurable, giving you complete control over what information is included and how that's presented. And you can easily export the reports to PDF, or I mean, you can print them if you really want to, for sharing and archival purposes, auditability, that kind of thing. So the initial offering within the reporting center is the requirements coverage and traceability report. This powerful report allows you to visualize your requirements, how your requirements, whether they're issues, epics, stories, or bugs from trackers like Jira, GitHub, and GitLab, or whether they're more sort of custom issue trackers. The report is going to show you how your test cases cover those things, how your runs cover those things, how your milestones and sessions cover those things inside a Testmo. It's going to give you an easy way to trace your requirements through the entire test cycle, so that you can work towards ensuring comprehensive test coverage. The report also offers high-level metrics like the number of issues, test cases, runs, and sessions are included, along with some visual coverage charts and also detailed tabular statistics so that you can get down to the details. And it helps you to identify potential gaps in your testing by showing which requirements aren't yet covered. So our new reporting center, starting with the requirements coverage and traceability report, makes it significantly easier to understand and share your testing progress and coverage compared to what you were able to previously. So if you want more information and guides about Testmo's Reporting Center and the requirements and coverage and traceability report specifically, then we've provided a bunch of documentation and videos and a blog post and stuff like that for you to go and take a look at. Hopefully, my colleagues Joe and Tony are sharing those links with you in the YouTube live stream as well. There's a couple of detailed scenarios in that documentation as well around some of the stuff that I showed in the demonstration a few moments ago, sort of issue coverage reporting, and also how to factor test automation coverage into your requirements coverage and traceability as well. So just a quick note to mention that, as I said during the demonstration, Reporting Center is currently in preview mode. The requirements coverage and traceability report is part of the preview. It's our initial report for the Testmo Reporting Center. We have other reports planned, as you've probably seen in the reporting center itself. So currently it has requirements of coverage and traceability. Soon to come, we have milestone reporting, automation reporting, and workload reporting. So we're working on those right now, and we expect to release them very soon. During the entire period, as we're releasing these reports, the reporting center will remain in preview mode. After we've shipped all of the remaining reports that we're working on right now, we will likely leave the features in preview for a few more weeks. But then after the preview period has completed, the reporting center features will be available to our business and enterprise plan customers. So Teams customers are going to get these features for the duration of the preview period. But once it's finished, you'll need to be on business or enterprise plan in order to access the new reporting center capabilities. So hopefully that's clear. All right, so I mean, that's like my content done. As I said, we've got time for questions and answers. Quite a bit of time by the looks of it, so that's good, I think. So we're using Slido to take your questions, as I mentioned earlier. If you haven't done so already, make sure you navigate to Slido and use the code or the QR to get in there and add any questions you may have. While you're doing that, I'm gonna just talk about the Testmo roadmap a little bit. I already mentioned and have talked at length about what we're working on right now, which is additional reports for the reporting center, milestones, automation, and workload. So our developers are, busy hammering out code. Our testers are testing. I'm working with them to make sure we're doing as good of a job as we can on those things. And as I said, we expect to ship them fairly soon. After we're done working on that, we will likely hit pause on feature work for a small amount of time and do some maintenance and infrastructure improvements. So updating the libraries and the code generally to keep it all nice and clean and speedy and secure and all of that kind of stuff. So you can expect a maintenance release or releases of some sort after we've finished up the reports. In parallel with that, we'll be working on some new API endpoints, a case management API namespace that's going to give you the ability to more easily manage your test cases via the API and Testmo. So a lot of our customers are asking for these endpoints. So this is going to be like the next thing that we pick up, and and we've got a number of things planned there. So that's kind of the next set of features that we're going to be working on. So that's now and next. Later, we've got a number of new feature releases planned. So we want to build out support for Jenkins, continuous integration in the automation launching area of Testmo. So that's something we'll be working on fairly soon. We want to make improvements to how automation is linked to test cases and test round, just like make that whole process of demonstrating how automation is related to your test cases in test mode a bit easier than it is currently. I mean, must admit, I quite like the way it works at the moment, but we certainly recognize there's some room for improvement there. So that's what we'll be trying to ship with this release. We've also got plans for improving how Testmo notifies and alerts you to things that you may wish to be aware of in Testmo. So test cases being assigned, comments being added, that kind of stuff. So we'll be looking into that, and of course AI for Testmo. We'll be I guess looking to improve support, optimize, accelerate testing workflows of various kinds in Testmo by enabling AI usage to facilitate some common testing activities. So we don't I don't want to speak to exactly what this is going to look like right now because I think we're still sort of figuring some stuff out around that. But if any of you have like specific feedback, ideas for how you would like to see AI implemented in Testmo, then I would say we're very open to hearing from you about those things. And I'm always happy to jump on a quick call with customers and discuss feature requests generally and specifically, I guess, relating to these things so that we can make sure we're shipping as much value as possible. So that's the Testmo roadmap. Alrighty, I see we've got some questions, so let's take a look at those. So first up, is there from Anonymous, is there a way to share a link to the reports with stakeholders to view reporting for those who may not have credentials to log in to the platform? No, there's no way of doing that. What I would recommend you do instead is print the report to a PDF and send the report to stakeholders that way. If your stakeholders want to view that information inside of Testmo, then they need to be added as a Testmo user. So Anonymous, will we be able to generate a report for many or all projects at the same time in the future to have a general overview? Well, who knows what the future may hold? Um, will we be able to do this? At this point, I can say maybe, but we don't have any immediate plans to expand the usage of reports so that they cover many or all projects at the same time. That's not something we have on the roadmap right now, but things may change. We'll see. Wouldn't it be better to see uncovered issues at the top of the screen, not at the bottom? Shemek, maybe. I guess that's kind of subjective. Um, I guess it could be. Maybe we'll look at that as an enhancement in the future if some more people request it. Thanks for your feedback, Shemek. Anonymous. I've just done a quick run of the report and it's not showing the runs that are currently in progress. How should we raise this with you? So I'm not quite sure what's going on there, Anonymous. Um, I I think it should show that information. So I mean, if you want to send us a little bit more information right now, I can potentially try and troubleshoot that live. Um, in terms of like a demonstration, obviously being somewhat constrained with what I have to work with in my test trail instance. But happy to kind of explore that a little bit. Alternatively, send more information to our support team. So via the email address contact@testmo.com. How can I save reports to track progress on test coverage over time? So exporting them to PDF is probably the quickest, simplest answer to that question. Um, yep. I was trying to think of a slightly longer response, but I guess that's the answer right now is yeah, export to PDF and compare and contrast. Will the API be similar to TR API? Shemek, TR? What is TR? I guess, are you talking about one of our competitors, Shemek? Maybe, I guess this could be an abbreviation for test rail. Will it be similar to the test rail API? Well, I mean, I guess it's going to cover some of the same ground. There may be some similarities there. Um, it's gonna, I guess, to the extent that Testrel um, has an API which allows you to manage test cases, and we're doing similar sort of work in Testmo. Yeah, you could say it may have some similarities. Alrighty. Any more questions? I'm gonna wait for feedback from my technical team to see whether we've got more questions coming in from anywhere else. I guess we'll leave it a couple of minutes maybe and see if anything else comes in. Here we go. I'm hearing from my support team. They're speaking into my ear via the magic of my Teams console. No more questions. Alrighty. Folks, thanks for joining. It's been my absolute pleasure to host this live stream today. I hope you got as much out of it as I did. We will be hosting another one soon, I'm sure. In the meantime, if you're interested in finding out more, follow us on YouTube, on LinkedIn, check out the documentation, read the blog. And as I already said, please do stay in touch. If you have feature requests, suggestions for improvements, questions, let us know. Contact@testmo.com. We're always happy to speak with you, learn more about how you're using Testmo, and how we can better support you to ship quality products and projects. Thanks a lot. See you at the next one.